what's up, guys? This is Kay in the pit. We are representing the No Skip Show. This is our bonus band that we got to add on to our awesome list of today. Today is Halloween. As you may know, a lot of stuff is going down in the Preserving Underground, and you're not gonna want to miss this. All right, guys. Who are you guys, and where are you guys from?
I'm Wyatt from right here in Pittsburgh.
And I'm Adam, also from Pittsburgh. Couldn't be from anywhere else. And we're Belie My Burial. This is our first show that we played in over 10 years. And we're just excited to be here.
All right, awesome, guys. Listen, we're lucky to have you. This is a big deal in the scene since you guys haven't been live and together and in some quite time. So it is great, and we thank you guys for being here, and thank you for taking the time. And so, how would you guys describe your sound to someone who has never listened to you before?
Very reminiscent of the early 2000s. You know, we all came up listening to a lot of metalcore, but also a lot of post-hardcore, a lot of screamo, a lot of emo stuff, a lot of goth and industrial stuff. We've always had a pretty wide variety of influences, and we've always been into all types of music. So definitely the sound was aggressive, technical. We always tried to bring all the kind of weirder stuff that we really liked into the band and just keep it, aggressive and still very deathcore and of the 2000s, and a lot of metalcore and post-hardcore influence there, and just tried to kind of blend all of those influences that we grew up on.
We were sort of like the first wave. We were part of the first wave of, like, I guess what you consider like MySpace deathcore. So we were obviously inspired by other bands, but like, yes, probably the second wave of that stuff is happening now. And we would be like the old heads that, I guess helped to pioneer that stuff. And I'm sure you're going to get to it later, but really just sort of like listening to bands like Despised Icon, Job for a Cowboy, stuff like that. Sort of how we found our sound.
Yeah, and the cool thing is like, I've watched you perform in other bands, and I feel like your vocal range just grows. Like, you are, it expands a lot, and you have grown a lot as a vocalist, and like, you make me excited to see you guys, and your guys' sound is just amazing. And I really enjoy you guys a lot.
Appreciate that.
So with that said, you guys have said that certain bands have influenced you. What is some bands that have influenced you, and what is like your favorite bands that you feel?
Definitely, like Adam said, all those bands that were coming up when we started this band, Suicide Silence, Whitechapel. There were a lot of really awesome local bands here.
Good ones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the explosion around that time, we were in high school, My Chemical Romance was blowing up, Under Oath was blowing up, Killswitch Engage was blowing up. We really were lucky to kind of be the age that we were, as we were kind of all becoming friends and learning how to play instruments and playing in, like high school party, like basements and in each other's basements. And it was a very kind of real jumping off point for all of us, not only as as a band and starting a band, but as all becoming best friends. Like, this is one of my best friends of all time. We've known each other for half our lives, probably more at this point. So when we were first starting out, bands like Bleeding Through and Atreyu and a lot of more metalcore stuff.
I'd even throw in like a band like Thrice, something like that.
Thrice,
like back in like 2003, like that's what I was listening to. A lot of Under Oath, Thrice, stuff like that, because I think anyone who's into music when you're young, you need that one band that's gonna like get you into heavy stuff and kind of keep you on that path. And for me, even though it's like not a band I find myself going back to a ton today, but Thrice, definitely one of those bands for me.
Yeah, Artist in the Ambulance, amazing record. They're Only Chasing Safety. Even like Avenged Sevenfold and Atreyu and Bleeding Through and It Dies Today. Like, a lot of the band, we kind of started right as the deathcore thing was starting to take off, and kind of rode in on like the more metalcore side of things. you had a lot of really awesome bands around that time too, like Fear to Fall from Pittsburgh, a lot of local bands that, like, you know, we've always been pretty underground, pretty DIY. Horwood, yeah, fuck, like Colossus, fucking, we had a great scene when we first started. Kamikaze, yeah. There was just a lot of really, really talented, like, musicians that were really pushing actual, you know, the playing, and like, that was a big thing for us, and a big thing for the time was like being able to really play some technical hard shit, some heavy shit, and I think that there was like a good, healthy, competitive vibe going around just in general, where, you know, we were all trying to kind of outdo each other and stay up to snuff with all the other local bands that were really good. When we first started, we were just trying to stand out, and we just wanted to play shows and hang out. So, you know, not a lot has changed since then, which is like a beautiful thing. Like, you see it today, like these bands that have kind of carried on the torch. It's very humbling for them to even ask us to do this. So very cool.
Right. And you guys have named nothing but like heavy hitting bands, you know, bands that even I grew up with and absolutely love, and also helped me get into the music that I listen to today. With that being said, our lineup, we have mentioned time and time again that this is absolutely stacked. This band is also stacked. With your playlist, guys, you guys were heavy hitting, took that all the way home. What goes into making your playlist, and how do you choose what you decide to play?
Like for the set that we
Yes.
played tonight?
Yep.
It was really just when we were getting ready to see if we could even play the show, we had to make sure that we had someone playing drums that was going to be able to kind of step up to the plate, which isn't easy to do.
Right.
And Levi of Sulphur absolutely killed it. He's about to leave for their tour in like a day, and he still took this on, just being a good brother, and like, he really fucking made everything possible. He had the place that we could get all this shit ready, practice. He was insanely cool and helpful the entire time, and we just wanted to play a mix of stuff that people would know, that we were stoked about. You know, there's a little bit of everything from our discography, an old song, a song from the full length, some stuff from the EP.
We know that like Finish Him is sort of like the fan favorite, so we couldn't come back after 12 years and not play that.
Right.
That was going to be in the set regardless. And then, like Wyatt said, we wanted to at least pick one song from the EP, one song from the LP that we released, and sort of like just go from there. But like you said, having a drummer who's filling in for us obviously makes it so that we have to be a little bit more selective about what we pick, and maybe, you know, we played third tonight, so also like you're limited on time, so we only had 25 minutes. Try to fit what we can in 25 minutes, and yeah, that's what we arrived at. So
Right. And I definitely do want to shout out the band Of Sulphur. If you have not checked them out, please check them out. They will be coming to the underground. It is a show that you're not going to want to miss. And on top of that, guys, I would love to ask you, what does the local scene mean to you? What bands have locally inspired you guys?
So, you know, for being around as long as we have, I feel like right now is probably one of the best times you could be going to shows, be involved. We are very lucky that we have this awesome spot. I've known AJ just as long as I've known Adam, as I've known anyone. He's personally done a lot for Belie, for all my bands, all of our projects, but specifically for Belie. He took our CDs to Japan. He made sure that the full length, you know, had a home where people could buy it. We kind of just shelved it. We're never really going to release the physical ones, and he really believed in us and encouraged us to let him put it out. He has this amazing record store here.
Yeah.
He's really made this the home for Pittsburgh scene. And you have so many awesome like kids coming out now. They're just super supportive. They're really hyped and excited. They want to talk to you. They want to come up and pick your brain, and like, just very humbling for us. That never gets old. Seeing that never gets old. And I think right now you have bands like Verity. You have bands that are coming up that are very young, that are starting to play outside the city, starting to play, you know, more local shows still up here in Ohio, like pretty much doing the same thing we were, making towns and stuff, and always bringing it back to Pittsburgh, packing out Preserving on like a Wednesday night, packing out the DIY room. And there's just a ton of awesome local bands, and I'm just hoping that we can get some of our old head friends to bring their bands back, because that would be sick too.
And back in like 2006, 7, 8, you know, when we were playing, you know, a show every week basically, I feel like back in those days it was like there wasn't a dedicated venue for heavy music. So typically you were going to be playing in a VFW, or you were going to be playing in like an Elks Lodge or something like that, and those shows were always great. I mean, the scene was excellent. Like, there were always 100+ kids at any of those shows. And that was cool in its own right, you know, that people were turning out to, like, non-traditional venues to see this kind of music. But, like, really, like Wyatt said, you know, AJ deserves a ton of credit for the fact that the scene now has a place that is a dedicated venue, really, for this kind of music, where bands like this can feel at home. And you see what the turnout's like tonight, you know, it's great. Like, we never had this before, and yeah, a huge reason why the scene still feels as healthy as it does and as vibrant as it does, and it's still thriving, is largely down to the effort that he's put in with this place. It's really impressive.
Right. And I do want to shout out AJ for doing everything that he does, for even having the underground, having these bands here. I will say this place has been my home. I may not be an artist, but I love being here. I love seeing bands. I love the music. I love the vibe, everything that comes with it. If you are not too far into deathcore, you should definitely give some of these bands definitely a look. They may change your perspective in some ways. They bring it every time. It doesn't matter if it's one or thousands of people, they deliver. You should definitely check this place out. You will not regret it. So thank you to these guys, even for coming out for as long as they have over the years. Give them a listen. They're great guys, and you will not be disappointed. Thank you guys. Again, happy Halloween. Anything you guys want to say to the audience?
Just want to say that we need more shit. Even though you're not in the band, we need more shit like this. You know, it's awesome that you guys are doing this. You know, you don't have to be in the band. You can get involved in so many ways. So, you know, we need more stuff like this. The scene needs this just as much as it needs the band. So we appreciate you guys even asking us to have a little chat.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
And Belie may be back to do more shows. It's kind of up in the air. We'll see how that goes. But regardless, we do have a new project coming. It's called Subcell. Follow at Subcell Cult on Instagram.
All right. Thank you guys. As always, rock on. Have a good night.